cutting it kind of close, Bugra.
I know where they're headed. Someplace called Anatolia.
Anatolia.
Of all the godforsaken ruins in the world.
Matos mentioned an artifact. Showed me how to find it.
Anatolia. Haroona will provide you with the details.
We need to reach it before Vincent's fanfare.
How much of a lead do they have?
Close to a day.
The morning start is fast, but there's no way we can make up a day's time.
Here, the society might be down, but we still have some bite.
But we're not out for the count. You're thinking our friends in Cyprus can intercept Vincent's fleet.
Cyprus is well out of communications range.
We are basically traveling on a gigantic metal frame. The Morning Star can be our antenna.
What's the catch?
The catch is, someone needs to rewire the antenna.
And the antenna are...
Outside. I'm outside. The weather's pretty hairy.
Can you see some antennae protruding from the fuselage?
I see them.
You need to rewire them like I showed you. And Haroona, watch yourself. We are a floating party the Lightning can't wait to join.
Just keep this steady. I'll worry about the lightning. That's one down.
Good. See if you can rewire more.
On it. That's another one.
I'm going to need a bit more contact surface. I need you to get in a few more antenna.
There.
One more should do it. That should do it. Hurry back inside.
I'm in.
Hold on, we are switching on the transmitter. I'd wager this signal could message the moon.
Wouldn't that be something?
Haroona, we owe you a drink. Join us in the common area when you can.
Astrid, told me you actually saw Dr. Matos. He's alive?
He was when I first saw him, yes. But now, only his shed remains.
He's a rifter?
Yes, but he seems to be holding up better than most. His mind is surprisingly sharp, even witty.
He was always kind to me when I was younger. I always hoped I might see him again, if things got better. But nobody lives forever.
Please do not take this the wrong way, Mara, but you seem very old for a teenager sometimes.
Thanks. I think you're very old, too. Will he end up mindless, like the other rifters?
The fall inevitably takes its toll on the mind. But the strongest minds are resilient. And Matos has a tremendous mind.
Well, I guess there are worse things. I am so bored. So bored. Why?
Could it be...
Yes, I have no good books. Not even new books. The ship's running fine. You're doing Queastor things. Mum's piloting. Forty's mapping. So I need something to pass my downtime.
Yes, I can see how.
What I wouldn't give for a stack of pulps, some Haggard, Wells, my beat-up old copy of Frankenstein. I hear Bomb's working on another Oz book.
Mara, you needed a favor?
Right. Sorry. I was wondering if you might just tell me some stories when there's time. The adventures you must have had.
I'm not really sure I'm the best one for that. What about George, or even Luther?
Oh, those two exaggerate worse than the pulps. You sure you couldn't maybe share a couple of your grand adventures? Please?
Alright, I might drop you a few anecdotes from time to time, if I have the time. But no promises.
What is it Captain Mum wanted me to take care of next? The loose throttle? Or that clanking sound in the port engine? Come to tell me that story? No? Then I've got things to do.
This looks like it's part of a larger message. Incredible.
I understand you encountered Matos within the fold. Tell me, did he seem strange to you? I'm curious as to the effects the fold might have on one who's been severed from this reality.
Well, for one, he no longer seems to follow the normal flow of time. He was sure he'd met me many times. And then I saw them, me. Other versions of me, taking different paths. Those versions Matos must have met. Or will meet.
You've witnessed the patterns of convergence. What else did you see?
I saw Vincent. Must have been an echo from the past. And I saw what he found. What he saw. I saw Session.
Now you know what we're all up against.
What is that little obelisk? And why does it make me feel uneasy?
We call that the communion pillar. It's used to facilitate an unbreakable connection between two divers, where the two share M with each other. In the proper hands, it can be divine, two hearts sharing their energy. In the wrong hands, it can make one heart radiant, and the other heart a battery. This was the case with Vincent and me.
Amina, what do you mean? You and Vincent were spiritually bonded? Together?
At one time, I was enchanted by him. Like his current followers are. Except he and I shared a special kind of fondness. Early in his deep fold explorations, he nearly succumbed to the strain of too many dives. He wasn't strong enough to keep diving by himself. I brought him the communion pillar, and we used it together. I offered him my help. My M.
Your soul? So Vincent used you. Like a battery. How could you let such a monster get that close to you?
Do you think so little of me? That I'd invite a demon across my doorstep? Or the leap year society would empower someone so obviously manipulative? He changed, Haroona. He was princely in his day. His first contact with Session awoke a single-minded monstrousness and narcissism in him. It must have always been there. When I saw it, when I named it, he discarded me. So yes, he used me. Without my help, he would have pushed himself too far and been lost to the fold. None of this would have happened.
You are not responsible for Vincent's actions, Amina.
Anyhow, that's what the communion pillar does. Sometimes it's all I can do to stop myself from dropping it in the ocean. Come back another time, Haroona.
Two dependable friends.
I take it your message got through.
They'll delay the Ascendance for as long as they can. With a bit of luck, we'll be in and out before none's the wiser. Artifact in hand.
Do we even know why this artifact is so significant?
Here. The artifact acts as a lens through which the life form can be bound to a host neural matrix. Life form? Session. Vincent isn't just trying to release Session, he wants to merge with it. That's what the artifact does.
With that kind of power, the whole world becomes his sacrificial lamb.
Not if we stop him.
I'll let you know when we arrive.
Try to get some rest.
Is something wrong?
Have you ever felt broken? Like pieces missing?
All the time. We spend our lives stitching our wounds. The scars become who we are.
My life has been nothing but scars. But Session... it smoothed them all away.
I treasure my scars. Each one marks a choice that I made. A choice to live. Don't fear your scars, Haroona. Meet me at the landing station when you are ready.
hold. What if we're here? Another Saheen fragment.
Ready to hear the rest of my sordid tale, huh? Where was I? Red River, lost my horse. Right. There we were, Luther and me, all ready to murder each other like real men, when all of a sudden here comes Peter Rabbit. Little Varmint just hopped right up between the two of us and stopped there, staring at us, as if to say, "Go on, shoot." What could I do? Well, I laughed my fool head off, scared off the rabbit, and dropped my damn rifle. My hands were still covered in mud and blood and God knows what else. Well, old Loretta landed butt down and fired my last shot straight in the air. We were both so surprised, we naturally looked straight up, just in time to see the tree branch I just blasted dropping right onto our damn fool heads. Knocked us both clean out. When I came to, Luther had a fire going and a can of beans in the pot. He offered me some of his canteen. They were scotch, and some of his food, and we started talking. I learned a bit of his story, him a bit of mine, and hell, we couldn't even see the fighting anymore, and no one was looking for us.
So you are a deserter?
On paper, I suppose. But I'd seen enough, even before coming face to face with Luther. That war, those wars, if you could even call them that. They were immoral, evil. Luther just told me about your little run-in with Session. Pretty bad, huh? But who knows what allies we might find out there. There are more things on heaven and earth than
In heaven and earth. Everyone gets that wrong, but I take your point. In fact, you sound more than a little like Matos. So, things like what on heaven and earth?
I don't know. Lost at Vadabar? Orang Pendek? Hell, even Spring Hill Jack could be.
You think those are real? Most of those stories don't even make basic sense.
Well, someone had to imprison Session in the first place. Question is, are any of them still around? Of course. Bukra thinks answering that question's a quest in itself.
I agree. And in case you haven't noticed, we're on a race against the clock. Besides, I'm not sure I like the idea of putting too much trust in someone or something that's strong enough to beat Session.
Point taken. I, for one, still think there's something to those stories about Spring Hill Jack.
Is it true you spoke with Matos? Do you know if any secret maps remain hidden in some family vault? Scusi. Once again, I have continued the conversation without letting you know you were already participating in one.
That's all right. And I wish I could say I found some maps specifically, but I'm afraid not.
It was probably too much to ask, I suppose. Such things are not usually left lying around, but one can hope.
Opera seems to be your life, Maestro. How did you fall into navigation, of all things?
It's the family business, you might say. For generations, my family and the Matos clan were rivals in the exploration of the world, both undiscovered and hidden. Incidentally, Haroona, Do you play an instrument, perhaps?
I wish I had that ability, but I've never been particularly musical.
Then, I suppose it's too much to ask that you might be able to read music, no?
Well, no, which I think stands to reason.
It is unfortunate, truly, that more people do not know how to read music anymore. Such a simple way of noting the progress of beauty and the beauty of mathematics. It is precision, it is calculation, and it is interpretation.
What are you saying, Fortunato?
Only that sheet music can be used to conceal many secrets from those who would otherwise pay it no heed.
What kind of secrets?
Oh, simple messages, love letters, secret coordinates. Remember to look for the hidden meanings in all works of art.
Haroona, that wasn't bad work out there.
Thank you. It was a lot to take. The terminal, the fold, all very mind-bending. And Matos.
I don't want to hear about Matos, unless he's dead. My daughter fell for his kindly old uncle act. She thought of him as a friend.
I wouldn't call it an act. He's a bit mad, but he's charming. And he does think we're on the right track.
That bastard betrayed us all. He chose Vincent over his friends, over his own values. I will never forgive him for it.
This all seems a bit grandiose. Why all the added, well, style?
You mean all the shiny brass and other polished bits and pieces on the ship?
Yes. Who paid for it? Who pays for any of this? Vincent must have bottomless pockets.
Vincent? Hardly. Oh, his abilities are impressive, of course. But he grew up poor. I was actually the one with... Oh, you should know. Vincent and I... we have a history together. And also, I'm not letting him take our daughter away.
Mara. Does she?
Of course she knows. I don't trumpet the news up and down the fjords. But I do not keep secrets from my daughter either. A lack of knowledge is a lack of power. And women have little enough of that in the world. I trust you will keep this to yourself. And please do not bring it up with her unless she does first.
You have my word.
Thank you for your ear, Haroona. I trust I can count on your discretion.
Let's go.